Hello, Junior Hires, and happy Arbor Day. You're sitting in your seats, probably knowing that you guys have some trees coming to you. But before that happens, you have to listen to this boring, dumb, long video about Arbor Day. So what is Arbor Day? Well, you're here. You might as well learn something, because trust me, there's actually some pretty cool things here. I'm Josh. I'm an arborist with Taylor's Way. What's an arborist? Arborist is basically a tree doctor. Arborists are people that help trees to get better when they're sick. They help to trim trees. They help to make sure trees don't get sick. So we are very busy, just like doctors. So we're here to help trees, and today I'm here to help you guys learn a little bit about Arbor Day, and then also for those of you that are lucky enough and chose to get a tree to take home and plant, we're going to give you some tips and show you on how to plant that tree. So let's kick it off. Arbor Day. Arbor Day is always the last Friday of April, and the importance of Arbor Day is huge. Just think about, how did you get to school today? Maybe you walked, maybe you rode a bike, maybe you rode in a car. All of these things, if you had shoes on, if you were walking, if you rode your bike, metal in the bike, if you rode a car, gas in the car, all of this is stuff that we're taking away from the earth so that we can have stuff. What Arbor Day is about is planting trees to give back to the earth, because what do trees do? Trees help us do so many things. Their benefits are so huge, and there's so many of them, I probably don't even have time in this 2-hour video. I'm just kidding, not 2-hour video. But I do want to just talk a little bit about what Arbor Day is and how it got founded. So it's a really cool guy. His name is J. Sterling Morton, who started Arbor Day. And he originally proposed it in 1872 in January. He's from Nebraska. And quick side note, Morton Arboretum is in Chicago. It's in Lisle, actually, the suburbs. Awesome, awesome place. So many trees to see, so much cool hiking to do. Convince your parents this summer to take you to Morton Arboretum. It's only like an hour and a half away. Okay, sidetrack over. So, going back in time, 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposes, hey, let's have an Arbor Day. Let's do something to plant a bunch of trees. So, what do? That year they decide in Nebraska, April 10th, they're going to declare it Arbor Day. And they planted over 1 million trees. Can you imagine? 1 million trees. Today, I think we're giving around 85 to 100 trees for you guys to plant. And every little bit we do makes a huge difference, because trees are the lifeblood of our earth. They give us so much. So let's get back to our earth and plant some trees. So I like to tell some jokes when I'm doing some presentations. I know I can't do it in person for you guys this year, hopefully next year, but this is a good tree joke. My wife used to be a science teacher, so I'm sure you guys could appreciate this. Where do saplings go to learn? Everybody's wondering, I'm sure. Pins and needles. Elementary school, of course. Come on, guys. I know everybody's hysterically laughing. I'll give you a second. All right, regroup. You guys ready? All right. So I wanted to give you a couple of fun facts about trees, since it is Arbor Day, before I go into how to plant the trees and a little bit more about the trees that we're giving out to you guys. So just a couple of really cool facts. Do you guys know that the biggest tree in the world, you may have heard of this, is a giant sequoia tree out in California? And it is actually named, it has a name. It is called General Sherman. And it is standing at 270 feet tall and has over 52,000 cubic feet of wood. That is enough to probably build 100 houses. It is unbelievable how much wood is in General Sherman. And then did you guys know the oldest tree is called Methuselah? And it is estimated to be 4,765 years old. It is one of the oldest living things on the planet, and it is actually called a bristlecone pine, which you can find cousins of that in our area. They're actually really cool looking pine trees. Today you're actually getting a couple of evergreen trees. So let's show you guys This is one of the trees that we're giving out today, and this one is called the Norway spruce, and it comes as a plug, is what they call it. So it's a root with a plug of dirt in it, and this is an evergreen, so it stays and keeps its needles all year round. Be kind of like a Christmas tree that a lot of you might be familiar with. And then the second one, this ugly duckling you may think, this one is called a bald cypress, which is very appropriate right now because, let's be honest, it's pretty bald. It doesn't have any needles or leaves on it. Now this is what they call a deciduous evergreen. So those of you who know what a deciduous tree is, that is a tree that loses its leaves. And an evergreen is a tree that keeps its needles or leaves all year round. So how can something be a deciduous evergreen? Great question, I know. Well, the reason it's a deciduous evergreen is because when it's in the coastal or southern areas of the country, it does actually hold its needles all year round and is an evergreen. But when it comes into further northern areas where it gets cold in the winter, it drops its needles and then they come back on. So right now, as you can see, there are no needles on this tree. So it looks like I'm giving you a dead tree. I promise you, I'm not giving you a dead tree. And of the two, I know this one is the shower. This one is the one I would pick. I love a bald cypress tree. It's going to be your faster grower. It's going to be more tolerant to bad weather and diseases. This is still a great tree, but if I had my pick, I'd go with the bald cypress. So that's a little bit about the trees that we are giving you guys today. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about the benefits of trees. I know I just kind of touched on it. And you guys probably know, I mean, you've heard this 1,000 times, maybe not, but trees are what help us breathe. If we didn't have trees, we wouldn't have air. We wouldn't have the oxygen we breathe. They take in the carbon dioxide, they take in the carbon that we generate from our cars, our pollution, our emissions, what we breathe. They take that in, they convert it to oxygen, and then we get the benefits of that oxygen. But that's not where it ends. Trees do so much more for us. If you're writing on a piece of paper, taking notes vigorously, I know, super interesting presentation. You don't want to forget anything. You're taking your notes. That paper that you're writing on comes from the trees. The pencil that you're writing with comes from trees. All of our building materials, lots of times they come from trees. What else? Rain. Trees can actually absorb up to 100 gallons of water through the ground and then evaporate it back into the air in a single day. So that means that basically the air-water cycle, the trees are a part of that and helping to put that water vapor back into our environment and helping us again to have a good ecosystem. So those are just some of the things that trees help. In our urban setting, like in Princeton, the more trees we plant, the more that we prevent water runoff. What does that mean? That means water that just runs off and goes nowhere. It doesn't help anyone. What happens is when trees are there, those roots suck up that water. They stop flooding. Lots of you probably have basements in Princeton. When we get a lot of rain, it floods. Well, with more trees planted, that means now those roots suck up that water. Your basements won't get flooded. Your PlayStations, your Xboxes, they won't get toasted because they got flooded. Think about all those good things. So trees have so many benefits. It goes on and on. They provide us shade. They cool our houses. I mean, I could talk for hours and hours about how great I love trees. And I hope that you guys can be inspired to start thinking a little bit more about trees, asking your parents about what kind of trees you have in your yard. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they could find out. Planting more trees. Those of you that are taking trees, I commend you. It is great that you took this opportunity to help reforest. That's what we're doing, reforest our country, because every day there are thousands and thousands of trees that get cut down, get burned in forest fires, die from disease and insects. So we need to do our part to help reforest our world so that future generations, even your generation, can take advantage of all the great things we have for trees. So now we're going to jump into how to plant and take care of these trees that you guys have. Okay, so bear with me. It's windy out. It might be hard to hear me, hopefully not. So here we're starting with our bald cypress. Now what we want to do is dig a hole about the width of a basketball, 5-gallon bucket. Take the grass, cut it really, really close, grass there. Put that to the side. If it's just dirt, that's fine too. And now you're going to see right here where it changes from kind of an orange to a greenish brown color. And you've got your last set of roots. And that's where you want the line of the soil to be. You don't want it to be too deep, you don't want it to be too high. So we're going to put it in there and test. And we see we're right about perfect depth. Go ahead and put our soil around it. Hold it in place. We're going to gently pack it as we go. You don't want to have any air bubbles in the soil. Air pockets, because that could cause for issues later on with the tree. So there we go. It's nice and a little bit packed. If anything, you want to plant it just a tiny bit high, never too deep. Make sure it's nice and straight. Usually look in two directions. Looks good. And then I recommend if you get your parents just get a little bit of mulch. It's the best thing you can do. It's a little bit of mulch around it. This will help to keep the moisture in. So go ahead and water that tree. Now try and water it every single day and do it for all the way through the summer, and that tree will grow faster. The more you water it, the faster it will grow. Just like a pitcher of water, big glass, maybe fill a big glass up 2 or 3 times, or just 1 pitcher of water every day, and that tree will be amazing, and you'll see it grow so quickly. So that's the bald cypress. On the plug, we're going to do the exact same process. Nothing's different. When we plant the plug, the only difference is we are going to plant so that the top of the soil right here, the plug lines up with the top of the soil in the ground. Right before you put it in, take your plug with your hands, gently twist it, massage it so it spreads it out like that. And then you're going to put that in the hole the same way as you did with the bald cypress. Pack the dirt around it, put mulch on top of it, and your soil. Now if you have any dogs or rabbits or anything like that, you might want to just get a little bit of like a tomato fence for the first couple of years and put it around there, protect it from the rabbits and from any other wildlife or dogs or things like that. That's going to be a great way to protect these little tiny baby trees. So if you have any questions, go ahead, give us a call, and we would love to help you to make sure your trees are great. And I want to thank especially Mr. Strickler. Mr. Strickler, you put this all together. You did an awesome job. Thank you for the administration, everyone at Logan. Thank you guys for partaking in Arbor Day and helping us to plant a bunch of trees. So go, get out there, and get some trees planted so that we all can benefit. Thanks, guys.